and that's done. So this is what goes around when you are shooting with influencers. And because I don't have a cameraman, I'm the cameraman myself. Hello guys and welcome to this channel. So we are out here riding the Triumph Tridents. So you can see there's a whole bunch of people behind, and I'll be doing kind of a first impression on how this motorcycle is. So let's begin. Finally some air and it feels good. Finally थोड़ा ठंडा लग रहा है यार. Whew, nice. To start off with, the mirrors are wide enough. I can see a bit of my hands over here, but they're easy to adjust, and they give a decent view of what's behind. So I can see the whole lineup behind me, and the two guys and our lead guy, Tiger, right in front. Since we are reaching up to a break-in point, right now I have been riding this motorcycle for about 16 kilometers. And the mileage that we've been getting is somewhere close to 4.6 liters per 100 kilometer. Now that's quite low, but it'll improve, I suppose. It is a bit more than 20 kilometers per liter, but there are situations like this when cattles come in between, and the brakes over here are helping out quite a lot. You can get the live mileage on the meter right now, and engine temperature, as you can see, is a little above middle. The temperature, I can feel it to my legs. There is a lot of wind that's coming to my legs because of the fan, and it feels a little hot. Not too hot, but it feels decently warm here. Nice. Let's get riding. Oof. Now you get a total of 2 riding modes, rain and road. The road mode is keeping everything under control. The rain mode is keeping everything under control even more. There's just 2 riding modes, but you can feel the power difference coming to your throttle in both the modes. It feels very lively in the road mode, like it is enjoyable, but as soon as you hit the rain mode, it becomes a lot more control. The throttle does not open as quickly, it is not as sharp. So if you are probably a person who is riding such a bike for the first time, suggestion is going to the rain mode, and it will feel like a normal bike but a little bit more powerful, and that makes this motorcycle even easy. Fucking amazing this bike is there. Tipping into corners like wow. And we aren't in the cornering zone yet. This is just a set of straights that is around. All I want to do is turn off the traction control. So you cannot turn off the traction control immediately. You will have to go to the main menu and turn off the traction control over there and do all of that. If you probably ride a 390, then this is the motorcycle that is having the complete feel and feedback of a 390, but in a different format altogether. It is a little bit more powerful, bit more refined. It's a triple, it sounds better, and it actually has that note of a inline 3 from Triumph that was there, the signature note, and it is very, very, very melodic. So we are regrouping here again, and there will be a shoot point ahead. Let's see what is there in the store. Until then, hear the exhaust note once again. Nice. I don't know how much we have talked about, but we are riding this today. This is the Triumph Trident 660, and this is the motorcycle that I have been looking for quite some time. Now everybody will say that this motorcycle looks very similar to the older Street Triple, and the fact is it does, because it is a 660cc motorcycle and that one was a 675. Now sorry about the noise disturbance because of the walking around here, but we have found such a great location, and right behind you can find Dino's Vault, and he is doing his thing behind. Okay, let's get onto the motorcycle, and first thing we'll look at the meter.
Once you turn it on, you get a lot of details. This is a complete digital cluster, and right from the start, right from the get-go, you get a ton of information. This is a trip 1. You can switch left and right, and you can get trip 2 details. Down arrow will give you the fuel status, engine temperature, service, and then there's the brightness. This is the gear position indicator. Then there's the connectivity for your music, connectivity for sound, connectivity for GoPro, and connectivity for your navigation as well. So now you can go into the main menu. You can get a lot more details, and you can set up the bike according to the way you like and connect in the Bluetooth module too. Now Bluetooth does not come as standard in this. Bluetooth has been added, so yes, that is definitely an accessory. But let's look at the switch gear. On the right you get a decent integrated kill switch with a starter button, and right below it is the hazard switch. On the left you get a decent joystick which has a good amount of information to play around, and this is a joystick that we have been very familiar with the Duke 390. Now right below it is the select button, and below that is the mode button where you can switch between the modes. Right click on it, and here you can get 2 modes, that is road and rain, and you can keep switching. To select it, you have to select the tick mark button, and then only it will engage. For the styling, you've got a very nice fuel tank. So the design is very minimalist. You don't get much panels over here. This is a single piece seat, and the tank is about 14 liters. The hinge does stay well, and I actually like this tank because the fit finish is really very nice. So once you click it, it shuts, and this is a very nice unit. The seat has good amount of cushioning, and it is quite soft but has a good contour to support. But for the pillion, it is quite small. The grab rail does come in handy, but if you look at the tail, it is a proper tail tidy, which interests me quite a lot. The number plate has been placed on the mudguard, and there are the indicators. This is a dual pod headlight, and the high beam switch works from here, and this is how it switches. It does not work like a pass light, but it just switches, so that's about it. But you've got good set of LED indicators, and here's the button somewhere around here, and yes, you can see. So that's the hazard light button that's there. The front actually looks very minimalistic and quite interesting.
Hello guys, now since we are out riding, we are gonna go straight, and not really much straights, but we are gonna be enjoying these curves quite a lot. To start off with, this motorcycle gets a 660cc inline triple motor which produces 80 bhp and 64 Nm of torque. Now the torque is available from 6000 rpm itself, and the power comes close to 8 to 9000 rpm, which is decent. Now if you look at the power structure, it looks very similar to the older Street Triple. Yeah, the older generation of the Street Triple, it looks very similar to that, because that was a 675, this one is a 660, and the power figures and everything feel really very nice. Once you use up the low end, the mid range comes in very strong, and the top end is just rev happy. This motorcycle is actually very rev happy. And to add to that, the exhaust note and the inline triple rumble that's there, the noise that's there is pretty good. Oh, I've got Thanos here. Now to pop wheelies on this motorcycle is just one thing. Just turn off the traction control, get into the remote that you like, and all you got to do is get into the perfect speed that you want, and it just fucking lifts. This motorcycle does lift a lot of wheel the way that you like it. It is so fucking crazy and controllable at the same time. It is actually very easy to ride. And for places like this, you've got such beautiful bridges too. So nice, so pretty. The turns are very sharp. But the suspension is giving me next level feedback. And to start off, you keep getting some places where there are landslides like this. It just got cleared up some time back. Zahur, what's up? And that's Triumph's cameraman helping me out with some pictures as they promise, which is pretty great. So that was some of the riding shots that I took for the article. I hope they come nicely. I hope I get it. The VFM tag has for Triumph has come back, and I'm pretty sure that Triumph is gonna sell this motorcycle like hotcakes. Probably have a bigger number than the Tiger 2, which is the highest selling of the Triumph motorcycle. So yeah, the Street Triple has come back in the name of the Trident. So we are out riding the Triumph Trident 660, and this is one of the most tiniest roads or sharpest roads I've got. And with me is Mr. Dino's Vault, and he is keeping things calm because he likes to ride it safe. That's it. This motorcycle is quite safe because it's got twin 310mm discs at the front and a 255mm disc at the rear with Nissan calipers. The braking feedback is actually quite brilliant, and you've got ABS, and it does feel quite a lot planted thanks to the brilliant chassis and the suspension setup. You've got Showa forks at the front, and yes, a monoshock at the rear, again from Showa, that is preload adjustable. So not all the suspensions are over here are adjustable, it's just the rear, and that is only for the preload again. Stock suspension setup has a very weird feedback, I'll say, because it's quite soft while the front is decently hard. So front gives you quite a lot of feedback to the handlebar, while the rear gives you a bounce back effect at times. You can see Dino is riding ahead, and the tail is not moving as much, but the number plate is jerking off quite a lot. That said, the dynamics are very rich. This is proper street motorcycle, and it's actually a street triple that was there before, with better dynamics coming all together in a symphony. This one just rides very well. Right now, I can say one thing: the Triumph is doing all of its power to bring that noise back, bring that emotion back from the motorcycles, and yes, the Trident is the one. This is the smallest motorcycle that you can get from the Triumph lineup. This is the cheapest too, which comes at a price of 6,95,000 ex-showroom. Coming down to the on-road cost, 8.5 lakhs, that's about it. This is actually a very accessible motorcycle, and with the electronics package that it offers, that's the traction control, ABS, riding modes, all of that is switchable from the switch gear and all of that, well, this motorcycle does justify its price. Some people will definitely say that it is quite a lot costly, but yes, each and every motorcycle in the segment or everywhere it's getting costly, so it still justifies for what it offers. 8.5 lakhs is definitely a bargain for what you get on this motorcycle. Now if someone was out there planning to buy himself a Street Triple R or an RS, and it does not have the budget to spend more than 10 lakhs, well, there is a good option. Plus, this motorcycle will actually give you more mileage with a 14-liter fuel tank. I've been getting, even after ripping it hard or opening the throttle quite a few times, I've been getting close to 4.5 liters for 100 kilometers. Let's see what is the live mileage right now. I'll have to switch through this, and 19.8 kilometers per liter, 18 kilometers per liter. That's a brilliant number from a 660 that I have been pushing way too much. Live mileage, you can see we are getting close to 21 to 25 kilometers per liter, and that's sane riding. If you go a little bit insane, it will still be good to your pocket. At the end of the day, if you want to get yourself a Triumph Trident 660, the only thing that's stopping you is maybe the size of you. This became a little off, but when I say this, I mean that if you're any taller than 5 feet 6 inches or 5 feet 8 inches, I'd say, this motorcycle will be too small for you. It will feel very cramped because the seat height is at 805 mm, and this motorcycle does not feel suited for bigger kind of riders. This is like the Apache of the 500-600cc category, because this is tiny, it is tight. The wheelbase is only 1400 mm, 1401 I suppose, so you can tip into corners really very well. And straight line stability, well, it's been quite nice up to 150 kilometers per hour. That is what the top speed I have been able to go through, because we are in Uttarakhand. We don't get straight roads, we get all the twisties, and actually this motorcycle has been twisting my hand and my head quite a lot because it has been a lot of fun. So I did forget about the ground clearance and the center of gravity of this motorcycle. Well, it gets an underbelly exhaust. Yes, it does, and the CG is being kept quite nicely. The foot pegs are very well designed. They are metal foot pegs both for the rider as well as the pillion, and they have a good support, but they are mostly center set, so if you are taller, your knees would bulge ahead and you might not feel comfortable. There have been times when there is heat coming from the engine and I can feel it on the legs, and the clutch is actually decently heavy, so operating the clutch is a little bit difficult. You don't get quick shifter or with auto blipper as a stock, but there is an accessory which costs between 25 to 45,000 rupees. The price I'm not sure, because Triumph isn't sure either that they have conveyed this is the number, so I have told you right now. Probably in the near future we'll get the exact pricing, and I'm saying it will be close to 35,000 rupees. So this motorcycle comes at an on-road cost of 820 to 850, and add another 35, then you've got the proper younger version of the Street Triple R as stock, and a total of 45 accessories are also available for this motorcycle. So yeah, you can customize the motorcycle the way you want it. This is a raw British looking motorcycle, and I actually kind of like it. Even I am contemplating to buy this motorcycle for the price 8.5. It is a steal deal. So the overall suspension setup is definitely hard. As soon as you hit some bumps, you get a good amount of feedback, and to comply with that, you've got Road 5 tires from Michelin, 120 section front and 180 section rear. Now these tires are a little costly tires, and they grip really well for long distance riding, for touring. These are the perfect set of tires for city riding as well. But if you want to push it a little, then these tires won't help you just as much. They'll help you, but the water weighting capacity is actually nice. Water filtering or whatever you can say, that is nice. Tackling off-road or bad roads, it isn't. Suspension setup is actually quite hard, and the rear does have a bounce effect. Now this video is definitely going live on 19th of April by 10 AM. If not, it'll go sometime later. The reason that I am being honest about whatever is there is that everybody who's come to this event or who has got a chance to ride this motorcycle will be putting out the video on 19th at 10 AM. So you will be getting a surge of all the videos. Here I am here with just myself, no camera guys, nothing, and with the help of Triumph camera guys or Dino's help or someone else's help, I've been trying to get shots as much as possible. So let me know how you feel this video is. This is an honest review that I can get, a raw vlog that I can give you, and if you like it, do let me know. If you don't, do let me know that as well. The comment section is open for you, and if you are having any kind of issues regarding bikes or scooters, yes, I'm ready to answer that. If I'm not available in the comment section, I'm always available on Instagram at Dhanil Veera. So hit me up if you have any doubts. I'll try and help you, because that's what I do. Hey guys, so I am here again talking about a question that one of the specific person asked on Instagram, that was about the touring capabilities of this motorcycle, because this is one such motorcycle that can be your everyday motorcycle, as well as you can take it for touring, track day or whatever you like. Can it do that? Now track day scenarios are a little difficult because this motorcycle is more street biased. Can do track days, but you will have to tune up the suspension and everything, and there will be a lot of change that should be taken into picture. But if you want to take this motorcycle touring, there is a good news, because you can. This one has the most comfortable set of ergonomics that I've seen in the Triumph lineup, because the cushioning is comfortable, the posture is comfortable, the ergonomics are comfortable, and if you want to go the distance, you've got a decent amount of fuel tank too, 14 liters, and I've just told you a moment before that I'm getting close to 20 kilometers per liter, so 250 to 280 is a good range that you can expect. So yeah, you can do touring, and I've done about 145 kilometers since morning, which is a decent amount. Does the bike pretty well. 18 kilometers per liter, 72 kilometers is the range that's left, so decent enough, and you can actually do touring. But there will be a little bit of a problem, that if you are riding solo, then there's no issue. If you are riding with a pillion, the seat might be too short, but these grab rails do come in handy, and you can actually put down bags on either of the sides. So pretty decent, yeah. Touring capabilities, can do. Well, I guess it's time to end this video, and by now you can see there's someone riding behind. Nice. So I guess it's time to end this video. I had a lot of fun. After riding the Trident, I am contemplating that I should buy it myself, for myself. And it actually makes sense for an upgrade because this is actually a daily motorcycle and can do high speeds, can do touring, can do a lot of things. It's an all-in-one motorcycle priced at a very good price. One more person. So yeah, it's Tridents everywhere in Uttarakhand and I'm happy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Oh my goodness. सॉरी डिनो, मैं थोड़ा क्लोज आ गया. हाँ बस. Oh my goodness. Last section I said we'll end now. Right now I'm saying I'll end it again because we found a beautiful spot for a beautiful sunset. I don't know how is it visible for you guys, but damn, it's beautiful.
Beautiful का definition पीछे देखो.
Bus. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.